Hello there, Taurus. Let's take a look at your predictions for the week of March 14th through the 20th. This video is for Taurus Sun, but also Moon and Rising. If you did not resonate with your Sun sign, you are welcome here. We're going to take a look at your energy, your person's energy, your strengths this week, and what you may be challenged by this week. And then we will pull a Moonology card and close it off with a song card. If you want a personal reading, I do have those open, both tarot and astrology, compatibility, all that fun stuff. It's at my website. You can check that out at the link in the description box. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I'm like focusing on what I'm seeing here. I have the Devil first, Capricorn energy. I've got the Page of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, Six of Swords, and the High Priestess. There is something that has caused you to move away from an unhealthy situation. And I think that it's something that you learned. Having the Devil card, we're talking about being in a bondage kind of situation where we know it's not healthy for us. We know that we shouldn't keep doing it, but it's so tempting or it's so all-consuming that we don't see how to get out of it. And I think you finally saw what the truth of it was. You finally learned something and found a way to escape, or are finding that way to escape, because I have the Ace of Wands. So you see that there was an opportunity here for you. And the opportunity was for you to move past something. It's the Six of Swords. It's telling me that eventually, emotionally, you withdrew. And I think that it was very difficult to do it. And I'm not seeing those cards yet. I think we probably get them when I pull clarifiers. But at this point in time, it was like what you learned, what you figured out about this situation was so eye-opening that you finally just said, you know what? Fuck this. Like, I'm not going to continue to put myself in that situation. And it ends with the High Priestess. So we are talking about what you intuitively knew. And I've seen this a little bit in your past readings where I feel like you got something intuitively that spurned your decision-making process. And I think you've been proven right quite a bit when you get to that intuition. But you have to have that epiphany moment before you get there. You know, you have to take the blinders off so that you can see. Because you do have a good intuition, but I think that for a long time you were so entrenched in it that you couldn't see what you needed to see. So let's go ahead and pull some clarifying cards and see what energy you've got here. We got the Six of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, the Moon, the Nine of Swords, and the Emperor. So yes, there's the difficulty there. There was a lot of adoration or admiration or encouragement. There was something about this situation, person, whatever, this bondage that you were in that gave you a boost. You know, it gave your ego a boost. It made you feel good. It made you feel recognized. And I also think that there was a very heavily fated aspect in it because the Wheel of Fortune is here. I feel that with you and that situation or that person, you really felt like it was going to go all the way. You know, you felt like this was going to be a big, good, awesome thing in your life. And so you went for it, ignoring all of the red flags that you saw. So where you are now is you do have this epiphany moment, okay? This opportunity for a change of direction, for something new. It's telling you like, yes, this is that moment that you can, you know, seize control of your own life and you can move past what is not healthy for you, what locked you down. But the Moon is clarifying it. So I think that there are a couple things I'm seeing with it actually. So first of all, I'm going to tell you the signs. I did already say Capricorn. I do have Pisces energy and Aries energy. This can be their sun, their moon, or their rising sign, which you may not know their rising. Pisces energy is very romantic, idealistic, and it's often when we put on blinders, like I was talking about earlier. So I think that you refused to see something, even though you knew it was there, because you were afraid to see it. You were afraid to acknowledge that yes, this is the truth of it. And I think there was deception at play here as well. So I don't think it's all your fault. I don't think you just completely ignored everything and you could have just easily seen it. I think that part of it was you did allow yourself to be deceived because it felt good at the time. The Nine of Swords is clarifying the Six of Swords. The moving away, the wanting something better for yourself is a major trust fall for you because you are still dealing with the emotional repercussions of what you thought and what happened. You're still dealing with a lot of feelings over it, a lot of possibly anxiety or depression. You may feel, even if you're not depressed, you might feel a little hopeless or less than optimistic about the future. That's a possibility here. The High Priestess is clarified by the Emperor. Okay, you're regaining structure in your life and you're using your intuition to guide you. You are trying to put new boundaries down. For some of you, this is going to be talking about the person that you were dealing with, and they may have been a very powerful kind of figure, you know, a very alpha kind of figure, somebody who came across for all intents and purposes as, you know, in charge, in control, okay? Somebody who was not particularly emotional, all right? And we're seeing that contrast play with your intuition versus how this person operated, okay? And I think that intuition is that small, quiet voice in our head, but the Emperor is not. The Emperor is, this is what it is, you know? So I think that a lot of times you may have quieted that voice inside your head that said, something is not right here, because who you were dealing with came across so assuredly. So you were just like, okay, you know, it's easy, I guess, to ignore what I feel and what I think about this because of what you're saying, what you're doing. So let's see what your person's energy is. This could be your partner currently. This could be an ex. This could be a crush. It's just going to depend on who needs to come through. And I think you'll know when I pull those cards. I have the Magician and the Tower and the Star, the Eight of Wands and the Four of Wands. Okay. The Magician is one of those cards. It's one of the few cards that I do this with that I really heavily pay attention to what's around it. You always do that to some degree with tarot, but with this one and the Knight of Cups, I really, really care what's around it, because the Magician is somebody who usually tries to control their circumstances. They are incredibly willful. They have a lot of willpower, you know. They are really someone who has the skill, especially verbally, to get their way. And that can be a wonderful trait, okay? This is often the card we see for you're manifesting things, or you're beginning new things, you know, or you're endeavoring into something that you're completely adapt to do, okay? But having it next to the Tower is a little different, okay? I think that this person bit off a little more than they could chew when it came to your relationship, however the two of you dealt with one another. I think they thought they had all of the willpower to do this. I think they thought they were completely capable of dealing with the circumstances, and then it all kind of came crashing down. The Tower is that card of everything gets obliterated. And I do feel like this person may have been walking a very fine line between one feeling and another for quite a while. But it's showing now, or in the recent past really, with the Tower, how detrimental that was to them. And this obviously has a lot to do with you feeling like you were deceived. I don't think it was an intentional deception. I think that this individual thought they could handle whatever was going on with the two of you, and they could not. Now the Star, this is Aquarius energy here. The Star is next. And the Star is telling me that right now, this person is hopeful about the future. Having the Star and the Four of Wands in the reading, there is a strong feeling of reconciliation here. There's a possibility that the two of you could get back on good terms, especially with the Eight of Wands in between it. It looks like a conversation is going to take place that's going to get the two of you into a more harmonious state. It also feels to me that this person with the Star is looking at their own future and saying, it's all here. I've got everything in front of me. Everything came crashing down, and now I'm going to look to the future because I can't go back there. I can't get back what was. So now I'm looking forward to what's coming next, what's in my future, what kind of healing I'm going to get. In tarot, in the major arcana, the Tower is number 16 and the Star is the 17. Okay, so it's like everything comes falling down around us, and this did for your person. The Star is when you kind of come away with nothing, all right? And you say, what's next? I've already hit rock bottom. I'm on my way back up. The Eight of Wands, I feel like there may be travel involved with your person. It could be with you too. You have the Six of Swords. So distance, being far apart, or travel can be part of the interpretation. But the Eight of Wands, I think that this person does very much want to get things right between the two of you. They want to feel like you two are on good terms. And they may be resurfacing in your life, or even if they're already in your life, they may be trying to fix whatever went wrong. You know, they may be trying to heal that rift between you guys. Let's go ahead and clarify their energy. There's that, yeah. Makes total sense. Okay. All right. The Ten of Wands is clarifying the Magician. So there's that, remember I said, I think they bit off more than they can chew. That's exactly what the Ten of Wands is. It's those obstacles. It's those things that we carry. And this person was trying very hard to build something sustainable between the two of you. And it was too much. The situation, the circumstances, the dynamic, whatever, it was way too much for them to handle. They thought they could, but no. Okay, we have the Tower and the Four of Wands. I think somewhere in the past with the two of you, it's gone back and forth, where maybe you did not talk for a while. You were not in connection, okay? But then you would kind of reconcile it and come back around. You know, I get that like back and forth kind of vibe because this is in the past. So I think that you had a bumpy ride with them, okay? And then clarifying the Star, this is interesting because I'm seeing, well, and the Empress. I'm going to go ahead and pull both. Okay, so what I'm seeing here with the Ten of Cups and the Empress is this person is gaining something emotionally fulfilling, or looking for something emotionally fulfilling with someone who makes them feel really good. This could be you. I think you're going to know if this is you. This is not going to be you for everyone, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. But this person is very hopeful about something that is coming into their life that is full of joy and pleasure, and it feels very new. It's very exciting. It feels to them like, you know, it's bursting with potential, okay? And they are putting a lot of effort into that. Again, this could be you. You know how it goes with you guys. Everybody kind of knows their patterns. Like, we have our own intuition. But when I see the Four of Wands and the Tower in the future, what I'm seeing is either the reconciliation between the two of you, or the dynamic that they have going on with someone else that they're hoping, you know, goes really, really well. Either one. The Tower is showing up twice in their reading, and it's always showing up with the Four of Wands. Okay, look. Here's the Tower and the Four of Wands, and then the other way, reverse decks, okay? every time they're going to try to make something work, to put down roots, to have this celebratory, happy vibe. If it's reconciling with you, that could be the possibility there. You know if that's an option or not. It goes to shit. So they have a really rough time, honestly. I feel kind of bad for them. I know I shouldn't do that because you're probably pissed at whoever I'm talking about, but I feel a little bit bad for them because it looks like they keep trying and they're hopeful and they're excited and they want things to be a particular way and they want their happiness, their happily ever after, and then it crashes and burns all around them. So it's really difficult on your person's side. I guess we can just say, I'm glad it's not on your side. Okay. So let's go ahead and look at your strengths and your challenges. Okay. Strengths. Sometimes our biggest pain, our biggest hurt, our biggest problem is also our biggest strength because we have resilience after it and we learn. So I feel here that's what's happening because I have the 10 of Wands, the Page of Wands, and the 3 of Swords. This is a difficult picture. That's a picture of a heavy burden on somebody and a lot of obstacles in them trying to pursue something new and going in a new direction. And then it ends in you having your heart broken, okay? Being very, very challenged by it and very hurt by it. However, the reason I see this as a strength for you is because I think that through this you have learned that love isn't supposed to be so hard. It's not supposed to hurt that bad. Love will hurt, and love can prevent challenges, like they really fucking can. Not saying they don't. But if it's always a challenge, if it's always coming back to the same thing, it's always painful, you're always carrying it all on your back, something's wrong. And I think that you are learning this through this process, through your pain. It's your lesson, and it's a strength. Not a happy one, I understand, but you already know this, and I think I'm just reiterating to you why it's going on, why it had to happen the way it did. And then as far as weaknesses, I have the Hierophant, which is your card. Okay, I have the 7 of Cups and the 5 of Coins. Interesting pull here. You have a lot of options, okay? I don't know if this is talking about romantic, job, choices, flexibility, whatever, in some area of your life. And I think that it has to do with relationships. You have a lot of choice. It's not like the field is dry and there's nothing for you, okay? There's a lot. And I think that there's just a lot around you in general, but you have this fantasy of how something should be. And because of that, none of those options are viable for you. And you come up feeling empty. And that's the 5 of Coins, okay? When you feel like I have all of these choices. It's like you're standing outside of a street, on a street, and there's houses, okay? And somebody says, you can have any one of these houses. And you can't make up your fucking mind. And so you end up being out on the street cold because you don't want to go in any one of them and miss the other one because you have it built up in your head of how perfect something should be. So that's the weakness right now, is maybe being a little bit too idealistic, not being practical enough, not actually going in any of the houses to check them out. You know what I mean? Okay. So make sure that you can keep your options open, but also don't be so strict on yourself and on others that you end up with nothing anyway. Okay. So it got really deep there at the end. Okay, let's go ahead and pull your Oracle card, your Moonology card, and then I'll pull a song card for you. So for the Moonology, we have... Okay, don't let pride get in your way. you know, sometimes I feel like I shouldn't elaborate on something, and then I'm like, no, it's your job to elaborate, so I'm going to elaborate. Don't let pride get in your way. It's the full moon in Leo card. This is when we let our ego get the best of us, and it's not necessarily where we go around saying, I'm so great. It's where we say, I don't want to fail. I'm so afraid of failure that I'm paralyzed. That's what this is about. That's all I'm going to say about it. Okay? Okay. I'm going to let you infer the rest. Okay. Now I'm going to pull your song card. I believe that whatever song I pull will have a message, something that will resonate and answer for you. So feel free to look up the lyrics or listen to the song. If you have a story about the song card I pulled last week, I would love to hear them, because these are really personal songs to me. And I share them with you hoping that they will mean something for you. Okay. That's the one that fell out. Betty who? Missing you. Who you missing? Who you missing, Taurus? That's your song card. All right. I hope you enjoyed your reading. If you did, I would appreciate you showing the channel some love by giving me a thumbs up and subscribing if you haven't already. I'll see you again next week.